What is up, my peepholes? This is your guy Cly, and welcome back to that thrifting series. I know I just did a best of dumpster diving special, but this weekend, my neighbors were so wasteful, and it was so good. So, yes, I will be doing proper thrifted items today, but at the same time, there will be some beautiful dumpster gold. Sadly, none of it's actual gold, unless you count circuit boards, which do have a gold content, but I don't. With that very awkward segue, let's pay the Nerf tax. I'm back with Nerf. One of the thrift stores in the area where my girlfriend works, not really that close to our apartment, but where my girlfriend works, has gotten back to their normal Nerf pricing. So she could not help herself. She had to pick up this Maverick, which has a really strong pull and feels like it actually might have been modified a little bit. They're back to their old pricing method, unlike the one next to us, which would have charged $5+ for this one. She paid $1. That is our we'll grab any Nerf price. So she paid $1 for this Maverick. We can't wait to crack it open and mod it. So that was nice. Now on to a dumpster dived item. Oh, just as I was about to say the little dude was being oh so patient while I got things, he decided to come over and check out the item I'm holding in my hand. Let's see if I can fit this in frame without my wide angle lens. Almost. Let's just knock my tripod while I scroll up and down. I love this tripod. Another thrifting find. Cat scratch in. This. Okay, let's center frame it. There we go. Also, it helps that the camera has motion. Oh, what's the best way to I don't remember what the feature's called. It has motion tracking that compensates for jerky camera movement, so it did a nice smooth pan. I like it. This is an Assassin's Creed arm blade, and I can't believe I found it in box like it is. One of my neighbors decided they didn't want this anymore, so they threw it out. Now, when I first saw it, I honestly thought the box was empty. It was still closed and everything. I have come across boxes for video game paraphernalia before in my apartment complex, and they're usually empty, usually broken down, actually. And other nerdy items, some of the Funko Pop items and whatnot. So I thought, it's not gonna have anything. But then I remembered the motherboard and my policy of checking each and every mystery box. There was no risk in checking this. It was within reach of my grabbing claw, because of course I use an extending claw. Well, not extending, a reach extender. There we go. So I reached in, grabbed it, and guess what I found inside? If one of you said, you found the arm blade, well, kind of right. Let's just show you. I'm getting awkward. Just crack it open. There we go. I apologize once again to headphone users. Let's just slide that out. For the most part, everything is still sealed in. They did remove the bracer, however, so it's flopping free. They did not remove the arm blade or the belt buckle. And I have a theory as to why. Scrolling it down. Smooth panning. I like it. Well worth the $40 I paid for this $240 camera. So they only took the bracer out of this one. Not the arm blade, not the belt buckle. I found another box right next to this one. Well, okay, across from this one where I couldn't see it to begin with until I moved over to grab this guy. Then I saw another box. I thought, you know what? Let's check that one too. Inside, I found a loose arm blade, no belt buckle. And yes, it works. But it's a flexi plastic replica. Not meant to be that painful. Unless someone's like right here when you extend, or, you know, you give a little bit of a run up, then that'll hurt. I'm thinking what the previous owner did. They took out and assembled this arm blade, took its belt buckle, and then took only the gauntlet from this to do a cosplay. That way, they had one arm gauntlet, or one arm blade, and a matching bracer on the other side. Now, what motivated them to throw it out could be anybody's guess. Maybe it was their significant other, which, that's not a blast on anyone's significant other, because some are into this kind of stuff, some aren't, especially in an apartment where space is limited. My girlfriend, on the other hand, she was excited when I found these. She's a fellow nerd. I've got some other finds of hers to show you, either in this video or another. Actually, in this one, ooh, I dare say one of the best items in this video will be one of her finds. So yeah. Arm blades! Jump cut! Alright, time for a long shot of related items. First off, this one will be dumpster dived, but it has to do with pretty much everything else in this video. This, my friends, is a thing that looks like crap, mainly because it was a dumpster dive. This is a Targus USB docking station. What it does, as you can see here, uses USB-B to give you access to all these wonderful additional things for your computer. Things from passive USB ports to powered USB ports, a little bit more oomph, though I do need the power supply to do that, which it requires a 5 volts, 3 amps minimum. Anything else would probably blow up, just because if it pulls more amps than the power supply is dishing out, you're in trouble. You can actually have a flame up. So I don't think I'll be using these ports for a while. I'm going to try the rest of it. I still haven't done that. We also have the Ethernet port, serial port, both a microphone and headphone jack, and my personal favorite, a VGA output. Using this, you can hook up an additional monitor over USB, and I'm not going to lie, I love this kind of stuff. I actually have 4 dedicated USB to VGA adapters that I bought years ago for about $32 for the lot, because they were untested. Turns out each one works if you know what you're doing. You needed the special drivers. The previous owner had no idea. I think they bought it at a business closeout. However, those are USB 2.0. This one may be USB 2.0. I don't know based on the age. But just USB 2.0, you're going to get a little bit of delay in your video. Okay, a lot of delay actually in your video. It almost looks like a slideshow for some of the more high impact ones. So it's best just for documents, images, and emails. Hey cat, scratching at my bum. There's about to be a little crazy man on the table in a second. Now, that being said, time for a thrift. And actually, I'm going to switch up the one I was just about to show you. I have this. It is also a USB VGA adapter. I paid $3. It retails for about $15 to $30 depending on where you go to buy it. So I paid anywhere from 20 to 10% of its actual value. And this is the most important part. Some of you have no idea what I'm talking about, so let me explain. This USB port has blue as the base. And that... wow, my inflection was weird in that. That blue has something very important behind it. This means that it is a USB 3.0 adapter. Let's just... okay, there we go. Autofocus is acting a little funky. I hope I didn't throw it off by using the wide-angle lens in the past. There we go. Or it could just be the lighting in here. My lighting setup is kind of horrible. We'll see if I can ever dumpster dive or thrift a good lighting setup. But yeah, this one's USB 3.0, which is a lot faster than USB even 2.0 by almost 10 times, I want to say, or more. I can't remember if it's USB 3.0 that is 3 gigabits per second or 5 gigabits per second. I think SATA is the 5 gigabits per second, one of the SATA protocols. It's been a while since I've looked into this kind of stuff, and now I'm just rambling. Either way, standard USB 2.0 is about 480 megabits per second. Gigabits to megabits, come on, it's better. Speaking of USB 2.0 and monitors, I have a USB 2.0 monitor. It is specifically an AOC, and you can see right below the stand here, there's the USB port. It is both powered by USB and displays over USB. Oh, there is a fluffy butt coming in. She hears me talking. It's interesting that she did that because the crazy man's right below her, and they don't always get along because he's a little bit aggressive when it comes to play. But yes, I paid a whopping, oh hey, Windex. Oh, hey, me! I'm glad I put my hat on. And then window. I paid a whopping $5 for this because the thrift store I bought it at thought this was a USB picture frame. I love it when they do that. This thing still, to this day, retails for about $100+. And I paid $5. Now, to continue the monitor portion of our video, or in this case, video connectivity portion of our video, I've got a couple of toys. As I showed you in one of my previous videos, I actually am the proud owner of a GTX 760 that I paid $50 for back when it was still worth about $300. And it has a port on it that none of my other graphics cards have had, and actually very few, even middle range cards have, at least in my experience, and that is DisplayPort. I love DisplayPort, but sadly, I don't have any monitors that operate on DisplayPort. Fortunately, thanks to my local thrift stores, I was able to get one of these. This is a VGA DisplayPort adapter. I paid $1. These go for about $10+. It was nice. That means that I can use a lot of my thrifted monitors, because I've got quite a few, that are VGA compatible, though sadly, that does mean if I go on the higher resolutions, I'm going to have some issues. Fortunately, most of them top out at about 1440 by 900. A nice 16 by 10 resolution, so it's not that big of a deal. However, if I ever want to go beyond that, maybe a day or two after I found this bad boy, I found this bad boy. This is a DisplayPort to DVI adapter. That means I've got a much better digital signal coming out, and I can actually go up beyond 1080p with a crisp image as long as my monitor supports it. Now, I'm not going to show you all of those monitors in this video because I've got a few other things that I want to get out of the way. But let's just say I've got multiple 19-inch monitors, and that's important for a reason. Now, let's go ahead and just slide these DisplayPort adapters out here and show you my girlfriend's find. She honestly had no idea what it was. She even admits to it. And heck, it took me a second to figure out what it was. And give me 1 second, the cord is caught on, there we go, on the USB monitor. But that being said, she knew that it was worth picking up and looking up. And when she found out what it was, she was pretty pleased with herself, and admittedly, I would have done similar. Though I knew what it was at a glance, simply because I have been wanting one. This bad boy. This, well, it's a triple head to go. But it is a DisplayPort adapter. Let's just go ahead and pull this little guy right there. Yep, DisplayPort. To triple DisplayPort. So 3 monitors for 1. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Oh, you're going to run out of memory. You're going to have very slow movement. A lot of people think that. Or a lot of people think that it just mirrors the monitor I have it hooked up to. But that's not the case. Now, what this does... Oh, there's a kitty disagreement going on in the background. I don't know if you heard that. This nifty little device tells my computer that I don't have 3 monitors hooked up. It tells it that I have 1 very freaking wide monitor hooked up. And thus, outputs at maximum resolution of 5760 by 1080. Oh, there is a little bit of a kerfuffle with the fluffle. You saw that chair moving probably. But yes, this tells my computer that I have a 5760 or some number of that nature, basically a 1920 times 3 by 1080 monitor. Splits the image amongst the three. That is a lot of fun, and it does it at full frame rate. I have seen people using this exact device to play, I think it was Titanfall, at full frames per second at 3 monitors wide, meaning the center one gives you your main field of vision, and then you see the periphery. Oh, it is so awesome. I cannot wait to hook this up. Sadly, I do not have a proper DisplayPort cable. The one that I pulled out of here is actually a DisplayPort to mini DisplayPort, and I don't have a device that uses that. I think it's a Mac thing. I know a lot of Macs these days have it, but I don't know if it's purely Mac. Either way, I don't have the port. I'm going to order a cable eventually. I'm going to get an official one. It'll cost me about $5. Oh, wait until you hear what I paid and what this is worth. Now, I will also say, like I said before, I do not have any DisplayPort monitors. Fortunately, these also came with it. Hey, look familiar? And don't think I'm using this guy in the shot. Hey, actually, I think it's the exact same device. I haven't removed that price tag. I need to check to see if it is from StarTech.com. But I can hook up 3 VGA monitors. Sadly, if I'm using the VGA from the official manufacturer specs, it does say that I am limited to 720p vertical resolution. But that still means that I get, what is that, 3 times 1280? So, 240, 840, 3840 by 720p? Yes. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of my monitors are VGA, and they're 19 inches, which means as long as they're all 16 by 9, which I think a couple of them are sadly 16 by 10, I can get a very nice picture. Actually, if it's 16 by... No. I can possibly tweak them to all work in unison, but we're not going to do that right now. Because like I said, I have to order the DisplayPort cable. And also, I'm about to not have room for that on my desk. Why, you might ask? Well, let's go into the next portion. I forgot to tell you how much this guy's worth. Retails for about $300. We paid $3. At a thrift store that has been getting notoriously greedy when it comes to pricing their tech. They go for retail, if not above retail, for really low quality items. They've just seen better days. They had no idea what this was, so they thought, oh, it's for hooking up a 3 monitors to a CCTV system. And we'll just charge $3. On to the monitor. As you can tell, I opted against the wide-angle lens despite how freaking huge this thing is. So let's just go ahead and pan around a little bit. How about that? There we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. This is a 32-inch 1080p full HD, so it's got a really nice refresh rate computer monitor. One of my neighbors just threw this out. Now, why, you might ask? Was it broken? Was anything wrong with it? Yes and no. The screen is beautiful. It powers on. Everything. However, you can kind of see me here. The power button is missing. I am able to work around that using a toothpick, so that's nice. Also, they lost their stand, which, looking online, those are not cheap. They want a couple $100 for just the stand. I made one out of PVC, so it works. It does its thing. I'm lucky that I was able to find the power cord. They put it in a plastic bin that was thrown deeper into the dumpster. But I saw it and I thought, hey, laptop charger. Nope, that's the power cord. It uses a proprietary power cord that if I went to one of the 2 online retailers that sell that model, it would have run me over $200 for the power cord. And the funny thing is, I don't really feel like this screen is worth as much as they say it's worth. I think they're operating off of the 6 years ago original retail pricing because they still want about, I want to say $1,500 for this monitor. And it's just a monitor, it's not a TV. You can get much nicer smart TVs in this size for a lot less than that these days. This thing only has hookups for computer outputs. HDMI, yeah, okay, everything has HDMI these days, but VGA and DVI, it does not have component cables. It does not have a TV antenna. It does not have any of the stuff that you would associate with being a TV. It is nothing more than a computer monitor, and I love it because it is beautiful and big, and I'm going to use this as my main computer monitor. Yay! And this is also why I do not have room for 3 monitors that are hooked up as the same display at the moment. My graphics card can support 4 monitors. I can use this as one of them. I can put something on the other 2 outputs, the VGA and the DVI, or actually I think it's 2 DVIs. The caffeine's still going. And then I can do a DisplayPort with 3 monitors connected to that. Maybe I can hang this on the wall a little bit above that, and I need to calm down. Sorry, all of those ideas are pretty. I like it. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm a wee bit too wired. I need to just chill for a minute and then hook up this monitor and get to editing this and my dumpster diving special video, because I'm a bad boy and I haven't edited that yet. Even though the wrapping is done. I swear it was cursed though. Until next time, this is your guy Cly saying I had too much coffee and signing off.